Alright. Hello everybody, and welcome back once again to emmavoid's Let's Play of Last Word. So, I don't 100% remember what happened last we left off because I had a bit of a problem with the game. To get another game to work, I had to uninstall Steam, and it was a whole thing. But basically I lost my save data and had to replay it up to the point we left off. But I tried to make sure I didn't play too differently. I've got roughly the same level, I think. So everything should be alright. Alright, so let's see what Seymour is up to. St. Lauden forces. I never really thought about joining. It just never occurred to me. But I suppose we could use the manpower if we want our country to maintain its strength, right? Yeah, armed forces is usually kind of iffy. I'm so tired. Is this part of it? It is. When you don't get the last word, your body and mind become susceptible. It's taxing, and you can wear out quickly. I'm surprised I'm still standing. Okay. So what other topics do we have? Nah, it's pretty much just the St. Lauden forces that we need to discuss with everybody for now.
Yo.
My sister has a big fight tomorrow. I hope we're released by then. I suppose that depends on if the professor finds what he's looking for. Any idea what he's looking for? Not necessarily. He's a madman. No making sense of him. Even if my sister and I hadn't decided to pursue professional boxing, we still would not have enlisted in the armed services. McCall House is best known for dealing with bureaucracy. I fell back on that profession, and she would have as well. Still, we hold no ill will to the military. It keeps us safe from, well, now that I think on it, St. Lauden doesn't need much protecting. Yeah, no kidding. I simply can't believe the professor would pull a stunt like this. I won't tolerate being pushed around like a common servant. We should be grateful he hasn't asked much more from us than to lounge and chat. You're missing the principle of the matter, and I'm growing fatigued already. My husband has been serving for more years than I can count. We met at his post. I remember him marching at the head of his unit. Or was that? No, it must have been my hubby. Possibly. They all look similar in uniform, though, so I can't really be blamed for forgetting. Yeah. We still haven't discoursed with the judge, but he's way too high a level for now, so... McCall can barely keep up with me. I'm going to drink him under the table by the night's end. Ah, wine tasting. Is that really such a good thing? Miss Gossip, it's a rich part of boasting culture to be either stalwart or drunk, if not both at the same time. Boasting House has alcohol in its blood, quite literally. It takes a lot to take one of us down. I hardly expect a McCall to keep up. Alright, dude. Bragging about being a drunk isn't really the brightest. When I was a colonel in the armed forces, I had many good men following my lead. You would have been impressed, Miss Gossip. General Sandhoff over there doesn't come from a named house, but she's an excellent officer, I can tell. Her no-nonsense bearing and integrity is exactly what our military needs. I have deep respect for her. More info. Alright. It's one thing to support the military from the safety of our borders, but it's an entirely different thing to support from the front lines. I spent 24 years in uniform, rising from a lone lieutenant to a full-fledged colonel. Even now, as a well-respected judge, I've never had more pride than when I was serving at St. Lauden. When the war started, my greatest regret was not being a young man. Oh, how I'd make a difference if I were called to arms. Alright, sure thing. Again, hold still. Come here, I'm trying to talk to you. There you are. I hope your search is fruitful for your sake as much as the great professor's. Is that a veiled threat? Never, Miss Carship. Never. I've got some XP stored up. Yeah, enough to buy any one of these. Let's see, tipping point was... increases experience points. Firm handshake. Starts as if one level stronger. And saving grace. Avoid losing conversation once per discourse. I think tipping point would probably be the most useful. Oops. There we go. Oops. Come on, wrong buttons. General Sandhoff's company is more than welcome, but I can't help but wonder why she was invited. She doesn't seem to know the professor on a personal level, nor is she from a house. Those descriptors can be used on you as well, but that's a rather rude thing to point out. I apologize. Okay. Jerk face. The St. Lauden forces have codes for the houses. I can hardly imagine the use other than formality or nepotism. I saw a book in the northwest section of the dining room that might have more information than I can muster up. Alright. I remember seeing that book and being like, oh yeah, we need more levels to be able to use it. So hey, let's finish talking with everybody and then we'll deal with that. Having prattles in the St. Lauden forces is not only an honor for our house, but an honor for the forces. Our house is so ingrained in military history that if we began to pull out, the country as a whole would lose faith. Do you understand? We experience a sort of celebrity quality. People watch us, and they expect us to commit to our great military generation after generation. Yeah, alright. You know what? Rude. I've heard of these other guests, but there's no reason why I would have met any of them before tonight. Not even Mrs. Prattle? You knew her son long enough. You must have bumped into her. I only knew Private Prattle in the most fleeting of ways. There are thousands of young soldiers marching among the posts. Even so, I have trouble believing your rank doesn't allow you more face time with the houses. I have a higher chance than most, it's true. You're familiar with the separation of classes, I imagine. The major houses typically only associate with one another or high government. The military is something on the side, where you shed your social status and adopt a rank, at least for the most part. I benefit as a general in that I have a chance to rub elbows with the richer class, something I could never have done otherwise. But I'm also limited in that any other persons of my rank could have just as easily been chosen to do the same. Truth be told, I'm rather enjoying this rare opportunity. Alright, let's... I was watching McCall sniff around the bookshelves earlier, a smirk on his face. He says he was surprised that the professor had so few books on the military, and I must say that I agree. I rarely read for pleasure, but when I do read up the histories of battle... When I do... Man, I always hate when I get that stumbled up on a line. When I do, I read up the histories of battles and debates. It's as one nerd chatters can call himself a colonel. I recommend reading the historical volumes McCall had found. I think they might be near that statue thing. Hey, real quick, I wonder, can we... Nah. I'm too preoccupied to engage in discourse just because it suits your fancy. Yeah. Fine. I see how it is. Oh, while we're at it, let's say you grab more points and bows. Well, I can get one more point at least. Nope. Where is it? There it is. So let's see. Still description. What's this one? Ah, the reddish pegs. Kind of want to keep that one though. What about peace of mind? Ah, recovered composure. No, that one's super important. Alright. Maybe we'll leave it as this for now and make sure to pick up the... Oops. Right, so I think this is related to one of the achievements, is if you remember to sit in this chair every chapter, you get an achievement for taking a break every once in a while, I guess. I don't know. Oh, come on. Here we go. This small section of books deals primarily with military history. I ought to find one that can tell me what the special military codes are. A brief history of the armed forces, the might of St. Laudin looks like a good bet, but this isn't very brief. Where should I look? Well, I mean, table of contents. I shouldn't waste time with the chapters that don't appear to have any use. Foundation or formation? No, this is a dead end. No, this is a dead end. Alright, well. Chapter 5, Instigation. No good. Expatiation, no good. Identification. Ah. Enlisting houses. Here we go. The page is 879. And what subsection? Enlisting houses. Here we go. The page is 8... What? I'm confused. Okay, page 879. So, alright. I think I found what I'm looking for. Here we go. Brief history of the armed forces can be used to give significant privileges. Although the houses have changed over the years, swapping in and out of favor and purpose, there are a few houses that have survived since the initiation of the armed forces. The special codes for those houses haven't changed. No house is 0. Boasting houses boasts. McCall, Pratt, Psalm. Seymour. Huh. The code for Seymour House is Seymour. Weird. Let's see if I've got it figured out. Alright, so we'll just fill this in. Ah! I wonder what's inside. Huh, it's super teeny tiny. What the? Is this Professor Chet Chatters? It's him as a younger man, without his trademark mustache and cynical gaze. Domestic feline, aha! He has a cat next to him. The collar says Harper. It's a white cat, just like the one roaming around the estate. The professor must have found this room already and placed this picture here. That means... this was a waste of time. Surely if the word was in this room, he would have found it. Alright, Witty. No need to be hard on yourself. What's this picture actually mean? A picture is worth 1,000 words, right? The professor must find this memory of his cat awfully special to hide it like this. Maybe that's what I should investigate next. What's with the wine bottle? Might ask around about the cat more. Okay. Domestic feline. Cats have nothing to offer. Oh, well, fine, be that way. Oh yes, that gorgeous white-haired cat has been stalking around this estate for years, if I recall. Ho ho! Indeed, that pet has livened up Summer House since long before Professor Chatters bought it. I haven't been to this property since it belonged to the Seymours, but I distinctly remember that white cat being here. If anyone knows more about it, it'd be the master of Seymour House. He and that cat must have shared this estate for years. Interesting. Alright, well, let's check in with everybody else real quick. Harper is fairly tame. I wouldn't move much. She doesn't move much and enjoys human touch. I would pet her all night if I could. Every soldier has her vice scholarship.
Yo.
The cat? If she were here on the Summerhouse estate before Chatters bought it out, I would wager that Seymour is a bit more familiar.
No.
Is she gonna say that this topic is pathetic? Yeah, alright. You're a jerkface. Kitty!
Hey.
Mr. Boasting says that Harper was here before Chatters bought the estate, eh? That's... well, actually, I do recall this cat. I figured it was some other white cat since her collar says Harper, but now that I look at her, I think it's Mother's cat. Her name is Mew. Ah. But why does she have the wrong collar on? Who wants us to think that Mew is Harper?
Hey.
This is pretty odd, Witty. I can't understand why Mother's old cat has the wrong collar on. Was it a mistake? Is it on purpose? Interesting. Alright, I'm gonna check in with everybody again before we check on the cat. That old cat sure looks comfortable. She has no idea what's going on around her. Should I admire that, or pity it? Mr. Boasting seems quite fond of her. I saw him petting the old gal's neck when we first arrived.
Oh.
Harper is very old. She must be around 14 years old. I would love to have seen her as a kitten. Every soldier has her vice scholarship.
Yeah.
Your interest in cats is telling of your low upbringing. What next? An interest in the servants? Wow, what a jerk. I haven't been to this property since it belonged to the Seymours. Oh, you already said all that. Okay, fine. Oops. So, you're not Harper at all, are you, gal? I wonder why you were given this collar, then. It's pretty fancy, too. Mind if I take a look? Good girl. Just hold still while I check it for... This isn't the same collar from the portrait. This looks much newer and... Uh-oh. Bum bum bum. I can't believe this, Mew. You had the word written on the back of your collar the whole time. So strange. Harper is etched on the front, but the word is scratched into the back, almost frantically. And such a familiar word. Marvelous. I'm going to have to take this off, but I doubt you want a collar that says the wrong name anyhow. Immune. Oh boy. Amazing. Miss Goldship, I'm sure you've thoroughly inspected our rather expensive indoor plumbing, but you're needed out here. Why should I come out? The evening is coming to a close. The grand and miraculous professor grows tired of the wait. We expected results much quicker. You may stay in here if you like, but I was told to warn you that the mouth will be activated in short order. Young Master Seymour and the others will be questioned about the you-know-what. His patience is not infinite. He demands results. I need more time. You were given ample time, and to be sure, that extra time was merely some soft-hearted luxury granted by his magnificence. I'll be out in a few minutes, servant. Well, this should be interesting. I'm impressed. It looks like Miss Goldship figured it out. Figured what out, McCall? Has she discovered a way for us to best the professor? No, nothing so grand. But look, one of the estate's secret rooms was behind this shelf. Is that so? I should see if any of General Seymour's pilfered museum artifacts are inside. If so, it's my duty to return them. You would certainly be in appropriate storage. He used a military code to lock the door, which could mean... Don't pester me with your trivialities, McCall. All of you aristocrats talk too much. I could swear you've been searching for this room all night. Was I mistaken? Not this room particularly, but a room. Any old secret would do. Then why aren't you in there with that brutish woman? She could be squandering General Seymour's treasure. Oddly enough, my curiosity has worn off a bit. I suppose the joy is in the journey. Plus, I'm a touch too tired to hold my previous excitement. I'm all too familiar with that sentiment. It's late, and the professor's horrifying machine, all coupled with wine. I'm not as young as I used to be. It's hard being in your late 20s. Late 20s? Yes, late 20s. Before you apply interest rates. You must be extremely interesting then. Have you come to usher us out of the secret room, servant? Romp around as much as you like. In fact, I encourage you to enter and enjoy the masculine visage of the professor's youth. But the night's activities are coming to a close. I have been informed that you should all prepare to gather around the mouth. Why would I subject myself to more of the professor's insulting insults? Your refusal would be an insult in itself, an insult to the host. I suspect that after the bottle incident, there isn't much lower a prattler can go, unless we count the Seymour incidents, that is. Your insolence is... But there's no need to take my word for it. If you have any sense, you'll partake in the night's conclusion and go home to your pillowy beds. There's really no other choice. The mouth can't cut us deeper than it already has, can it? I mean, denying St. Lauden's citizens the right to speak freely already goes against everything this country was founded on. It's unethical. I couldn't have said it better. The professor is a disgrace to the patron saint of discourse, and I'm not even Catholic. My patience is wearing thin, servant. I won't wait around for an audience. I'll make my way to see him, with you in the way or not. You have a strong bark, General Sandhoff. My bite is very much worse. Well then, I suppose you'll be panting outside of his door while he prepares the mouth. Try not to get slobber on the wood flooring. Ouch. Okay, so I got the thing, and I don't know what it does. Thanks for the call, Mew. You're a good girl. Alright, so... No, that's not what I want. I want... There we go. Oh, immunity activates automatically. When Woody loses, she no longer feels the effects. Ah, interesting. Resist the persuasive power of the last words. The depths of this ability aren't fully realized. His words fell on deaf ears. And win any discourse undisputed, but no experience is gained. The ultimate conversation killer. Logos, ethos, pathos, and oros. Alright, so we've got 5 spare, so I think we can take off common courtesy. Yeah. And put on tipping point, although I will want to equip common courtesy again soon. Alright, do we have anything else other than... No, just the word. This whole thing is crazy, Witty, but I'm sure you have it under control. Yeah, well, we'll see. Are you still searching around the estate for something, Miss Cauship? I've been browsing the professor's shelves all night, and I have to say, he has an intense interest in old fables and legends. I wouldn't expect so many works of fiction from a man of science. Did you see the room that opened up behind the bookshelves? Oh my goodness, I was prepared to find some skeletons deep within. Unfortunately for all of us, it's just a dusty old room with a picture of the professor and his unhealthy love of pets. Ugh. Mr. McCall seemed rather enthusiastic to see the secret room open, even if it didn't have much in it.
Oh.
I love a good adventure, and a good puzzle. You know, that room you opened up is still open. Not that it needs to be closed, but, well, a gentleman always wonders if there are riddles to be solved, and who solved them. Makes me wonder. Looks like there's something else in the picture. I thought so. The young professor's drinking a particular wine. It looks like a white wine from Florence, Italy. I wonder if it was any good. Nice. Alright. So, General is the only one we haven't talked to about it yet. What's her locked topic? Yeah. So as soon as we talk to her. But let's get a little more practice discourse in with Seymour. Alright. And that should give us enough to pick up a couple more bows. Or at least... just one more. Okay. Need another.
Oh.
Oh, oops. Oh well. let's talk back. Your chances are already sour. What a remarkable response. Ah, we're immune! That is pretty cool. And ain't exactly as much as we needed. Alright, so let's equip that skill. Alright. Oops. Goalship, now is hardly the time for idle banter. I'm trying to get into the professor's study to confront him personally. General Sandhoff is a rather ignorant person to believe she stands a chance against the professor. Don't you agree, Miss Goalship? I have to agree. I've talked to him personally, General, and he's far above us in skill. You're telling me that an honorary colonel has more raw ability than a general? Hardly. Why else does he hide behind that invention? That invention is a creation for the St. Laurent forces, if you recall. If the professor hides behind it, our forces must intend to hide as well. I will not tolerate any bashing of our mighty forces. We have good people out on the field every day making St. Laurent great. I'm just trying to warn you. The professor is strong. If you confront him, he will defeat you. With all due respect, Goalship, I have a much different opinion. Aha! Uh-oh. Okay, so I need to be a higher level. But she doesn't have any tact yet, so... Okay. Oof. Okay. She makes pretty heavy use of... Oof. Yeah. Oh, butts. Way too low a level. That is true military might, miss. Please start showing the respect our nation's forces have earned by conquering helpless countries. Immune. Oh? About face. Forward. March! gonna stay right here. Ah, that's really amusing that you can do that. Okay, so we're definitely gonna need to level up a bit more. And it would help for that to boost Seymour's charisma a bit higher. But for now, we'll just go up against him a couple more times and fast forward through it. Sometimes when General Sandhoff looks defeated, she manages a graceful save? I'm going to try it myself. Sneaky. I might have to pick that up myself. Alright. Good to know that the General has that power. Let's go ahead and save, and then we'll go take on the General. Alright, and it doesn't matter that she has that, because I can win anyways. There we go. Hey, we got another bow. And another level. Oh, 2 bows. Listen, General, you need to step away from the door. I can handle the professor from here. Why don't you figure out some other way to get his attention? Waiting here solves nothing. Well, in the name of St. Martin of Tours, I think I shall. There's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. I'll formulate an adequate battle strategy and be back before you can speak a single phrase to that hold-up lunatic. I have no doubt about your cunning. If you need any aid, feel free to ask. You should consider commissioning as an officer, Gossip. Good luck when speaking with Professor Chatters. No, come on. Seymour, I have to tell you something. You look much less tired than you were earlier. Your flattery needs work, but yes, I'm feeling infinitely more refreshed. I don't know how to put this, but I've managed to break out of the Professor's influence. Actually, I put that quite nicely, didn't I? What do you mean? How did you do it? It's odd. I can't really explain it, but I found something your mother used to use. It's the last word. You have to confuse me, Witty, but I'm still a bit confused about how this works. It's exactly what it sounds like. I have the last word. If I so choose, I can never be beaten in common discourse, because I'll always have it. It's written on the cat collar I'm wearing. I've managed to conceal it with my fashionable bow tie. There seems to be a lot of nuanced skills within the word itself, but at the very least I can't be persuaded against my will. I just had a discussion with General Sandhoff, and I knew that even if she thought she had the last word, she wouldn't. I have full control. I think I heard her swear out loud to a patron saint when she lost, and she's not even Catholic. What? Never mind, Seymour. What matters is that I have what I need to upheave the Professor's plans and get us out of here. How can I help? I don't think there's anything you can do, to be honest. Really? Okay, I guess that's fair. But then why did you tell me this? Well, because this belonged to your mother. As far as I can tell, the Seymour house prospered mostly because you had this word. I wouldn't feel right taking it from the estate without telling the heir that I was doing so. Then maybe it'd be alright to let the heir have control of it again? Yeah? Seymour, there's a fine line between ethical obligations and complete stupidity. I'm keeping the last word. Yeah, I knew it was far-fetched when I said it. I'm going to confront the Professor in a bit. Hopefully, if all goes well, I'll release his hold on the estate and let everyone leave. What's your plan exactly? Nothing particularly out of the ordinary. I'm simply going to talk to him. Oh, this should work just dandy. You have my gratitude, McCall. What in heaven's name are you doing now? Not that it concerns you, but we're trying to find more secret passages. Ever since Whitty began gossiping about state secrets, the idea has spread like wildfire. I've even caught my third wind. If we can find a secret passage into the study, your attempts at locking the door will be positively nullified. How exciting! You may want to put that enthusiasm to rest, McCall. He's the last person we should be informing of our plans. Maybe so, but a true sportsman gives his opponent the chance to a fair fight. I've already guessed your feeble attempts at circumventing the professor's dictation, and you can proceed until your face turns purple. What I meant earlier is, what in heaven's name are you doing to the expensive flooring? You're scuffing it. I don't care about your floors. That should be obvious. I tried to help her lift it over, but she seemed intent on pressing down as she pushed. And who is going to scrub this out? I'd ask the servant. You're all children and I'm the nanny, is that right? I should fix everything you break, clean every mess as you go. I should say so, yes. I don't see anything up here that would act as a trigger or a code input. Make sure you look at the section between the wall and the lamp. If there's any connection, it will have to route through the wall. Actually, I think I feel something. I flipped a switch, I think. Has anything happened? Ooh. Heavens, what have we here? I hope this is some dirty secret. Who knows what sort of skeletons are hiding around this dusty old estate. This is new. Oh dear, nothing of interest. Simply some old priceless diamond. Ugh, how boring. A diamond? I see. It doesn't happen to have anything written on it, does it? Don't be silly, why would it? But I guess I shouldn't be surprised by the ignorance of the help. Of course, my mistake. But I'd like to take a closer look if you don't mind. Why would I mind? You're in charge of the premises, not me. And honestly, this is a rather small diamond compared to my own. It's locked tight. No sense in risking it. I need some way inside. Expect another short delay, but stay near. Who's the servant here, me or you? Inform the others to expect a minor delay and try to keep your hands to yourselves. That was a bust. Nothing of use. But at least we've created another delay. More time to search might be advantageous. Indeed, and I find it quite engaging. I'm happy you allowed me to partake in this little adventure. As grateful as I am, I never asked for your help. A gentleman is always eager to help, whether needed or not. Our exchanges are bordering the trivial. Unless you have a fresh idea for getting into the study, I'll be sampling more of the wine. Yes, of course. I'll be sure to tell you if I find any more of the estate's secrets. The word, it feels more faint. I don't get it. It looks like the metal is fracturing. Just a small amount. Am I imagining this? Is this really the object the professor sought? What if it breaks apart? I need to keep this a secret. Use it sparingly. If the collar busts, I could be at square one. Chapter 5, Finality. Witty retorts, chattering teeth, and learning to say more. Alright. Well, that was certainly interesting. And we'll call that the end of today's episode. So, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Be sure to come back next time to see, I think maybe it'll be the conclusion. At least we're probably pretty close, judging by the names of the chapters. But either way, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe. You could always leave a comment or maybe even click the notification bell if you want to be notified as soon as I put up a new episode. Otherwise, let's see. Oh, right. If you like, you can check in my doobly-doo down below, where you'll find the... That sounded kind of weird, huh? In the doobly-doo, you'll find a link to my Patreon and my PayPal, in case you want to donate some money to my cause. Or you can always check my Twitter or my Tumblr if you want to just, say hello. Alright, well, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Bye!